Hello and welcome to our 2017 edition of our Journey to Financial Freedom. I am Sheila Wilkinson-Sanders and I am joining you this year with a journey toward wealth building, a journey toward building wealth in our lives. As many of you know, in 2015, we started this journey with the debt reduction, debt elimination challenge. And we spent that year talking about ways to reduce our debt, reduce our spending habit, reduce our expenses. And then we moved on last year in 2016 to our journey to financial freedom with, increasing our income, increasing our savings, increasing our assets. And so now in 2017, we're now prepared to start building wealth. Now each year I define for you what my definition of wealth is. And one of my first assignments for you is to define what wealth is for you. For me, wealth is being able to do whatever you want, whenever you want. And being at peace, which is the one thing I say to you all the time, is the one thing that I pray for. Being at peace, not having to worry about all of the stuff that's going on around us. And with a new incoming administration in our government, I think we all need to pray for peace. And we all need to be prepared for the things that are going to come, for the things that are going to change in our nation in 2017 and beyond. So let's get started. One of the first things that I want to do is I want to define for you net worth. Net worth is your assets less your liabilities. That's your net worth. And that's how you define from a financial standpoint what your level of wealth is. I just returned home from the 2017 Women's Retreat in South Beach, Florida, that is hosted by MC Light and a dear friend of mine, Dr. Lynn Richardson. And during one of the panel discussions that I was a part of, she informed those present that the average net worth for African American women is below $10,000. A very disturbing number. Now, I will say to you that many of you that are listening to this right now more than likely have a net worth of zero, or maybe even a negative number. Why is that? Because you're not putting into practice the principles that we're talking about, number one. Number two, for many of you, it's because of the dreaded student loan debt. And I will say this to you, that if you did not take advantage of the many programs that our current president put into place to make it possible for you to eliminate your student loan debt in the future, that you have done yourself a grave disservice. Because I am pretty sure that those programs are probably going to go away with the new administration. So maybe one of the things you might want to do in these last couple of days is to research those programs. Remember, Google is your friend. And see what you can do to take advantage of those programs that won't eliminate the student loan debt today, but will allow you over time in a much faster manner to eliminate that student loan debt. Now, we're going to spend a lot of time this year talking about increasing assets, reducing debt. So as you go, and I want each of you to determine what your net worth is, I want you to add up all of your assets: cash, savings, investments, pensions, profit sharings. All of those are assets. Now, when you start listing what your assets are, some of you may be thinking about your name brand purses or your red bottom shoes. Do they have value? If you could sell it today, what would you be able to sell that asset for today and it have value above zero? That's an asset. And if that number disappoints you, then I want you to pay attention and tune in to our journey this year so that you can start to get to the point of peace in your life. I want you then to add up all of your liabilities. Your liabilities are your debts: car loans, student loans, mortgages, credit card debts, short-term debts, long-term debts. Anyone that you owe money to is a liability, right? You then want to take all of those assets, come up with a total number, take all the liabilities, come up with a total number, and that number will then come to your net worth. Again, some of you are going to have a negative net worth, but let me put this on your spirit. In order to retire, or let's not say in order to retire, let's just say at retirement, let's assume that you plan to retire at age 65 and you have a life expectancy of 25 years. All right? Take your gross income, your gross annual income right now, and multiply that by your life expectancy. And that's the minimum amount that you should have as your net worth when you retire. Now, if you're in your 20s right now, you're probably thinking, well, that's not a problem. I have like 20, 30 years before I retire. But again, that's the goal on where you want to get to. And we're going to spend a lot of time this year talking about how you prepare yourself to become wealthy. I'm Sheila Wilkinson-Sanders. Remember to stay faithful. Remember to stay focused. Remember to stay committed. Let's go on this wealth building journey together. Have a great day.